Hey, what's up guys? This is Team Hard Life Captain Alberto, Zertuche, and man, I've been running around all day. I'm sweating my butt off over here. Alright, so I've been kind of putting it out there a little bit, bleeding it out a little bit of things we're going to change here at the shop with sponsors and things we got going. One of the major ones for us was Twang. They came on strong, you know, they were willing to help us out, you know, financially, because it does take money to be able to do what we do with the videos and stuff like that. And also to product for our customers and our subscribers. You know, it takes a lot, you know, of putting their name out there in every single video. And if y'all go back through, y'all can see probably 200 videos of us putting their gear out there in their name. Well, they've gotten under new management, new reconstruction, and we haven't heard anything from them. I've sent multiple emails, they've not responded, so I'm gonna kind of leave it as is, you know. I mean, I shouldn't have to try that hard to get a hold of a sponsor, especially when we're advertising for them and or looking to grow with them. So that's one of the ones, and you'll notice that the stickers are kind of gone on there. My last spooling video, sticker's been removed from the spooling station as well. That was one of them.
Gotta bite. I think I got a lot of stress on my mind. It's a nice day to go. Yeah, I gotta line. I'ma call the whole team.
Okay, another one was, or is, we used to do business with a local rod builder here, and he's one of the best ones, one of the old school ones here. There's a lot of guys that have been building, you know, 10, 15, 20 years or whatever. He's one of the guys that was one of the originals here in Porpoise. And with him, you know, we worked out a deal to have a decent rod put out on the market at a decent price. You know, that was the whole deal. You know, we wanted to get the name out there with the rods and everything. So, you know, I bit my teeth on, you know, how much to charge, and he bit his teeth on it, because he knows through my YouTube channel I was going to be building his name and putting it out there, and every time we did, you know, we held up our end of the bargain on it. Now, he came through saying, you know, hey, things are getting more expensive, this and that. And I said, well, just let us know, we'll work it out, we'll start raising the price. So we started gradually raising the prices, as y'all have seen. If y'all have been subscribed to the channel, our rods used to start out at $350. They're up to $479 because the parts of the foam, the guys, everything has gone up. The rod blanks have gone up in price. His labor also went up in price. However, we were also being told, hey, you know, this isn't this going on, this and this isn't going on. And so we had delay after delay after delay on a whole bunch of things. And in that whole time, you know, I'm explaining to my customers, and they're being, and I am so blessed that they are our customers, and yes, they would get upset. They would have words with us and stuff, and, you know, we took it as, you know, it's either they stick with us and keep going with it, or they ask for a refund back. Now, for us, we got very lucky that they didn't keep asking for refunds back, because that's the whole deal with business. You know, as the money came in, I spent it to buy the parts, materials, and everything, so that way it could be there, and or order it, so that way when it finally became available, we can get it in, because that was part of the things that we were running into. You know, a lot of it was, you know, the manufacturers, everything was stuck in shipping containers offshore. Like, we waited a long time for certain parts to come in, and this was something that, you know, it just hit us abruptly, because originally as we ordered parts, we were getting rods in, and they were coming in a timely fashion, and then it was the freeze, and then power outages, and then, you know, also too, sicknesses and deaths in the family and stuff. And, you know, our customers stayed loyal to us and to that rod builder because of what we had going on. However, at the turn of the dime, you know, and, or should I say, on the drop of a dime, we get a text message, and he brings everything back unwrapped, where he told many of our customers that, hey, and he told me to tell my customers, hey, they're wrapped, I'm just waiting to epoxy. We're just waiting for a clear window. And then, you know, I started looking into it, and I was like, hey man, that's like, I see this wrap going out for this build. I know that that tournament wasn't going on. So when I started poking back and finding out, hey, you know, trying to call him out, hey, like, how are you getting this tournament rod out there if you're not getting my customers' rods out there? And finally I get the text, hey man, I'm dropping off everything, all the rods that we had wrapped, I'm stripping down and you're getting them like that because I signed a contract with another business. I was like, okay, well, that contract was nowhere near in effect when we had our verbal contract agreement and when I was signing off checks paying you for built rods. You know, you had all these parts, all the materials and everything, and even said you had them wrapped. Then you turn around and tell me you're going to strip them all down and bring them back to us. Like, dude, hey, I understand you signed a contract, you're looking for better money, this and that. Hey, cool. But you started those rods before this contract was even talked about, started, signed. Those should have been completed. Anything new, hey, I understand, bro, you can't wrap no more rods for me. Thank you for finishing what you were supposed to finish and bringing me back the extras. That would have got all my customers that have been waiting up to 10 months for rods to get built and returned to them, you know, as they paid, you know. And even between then, you know, the rising prices of the rods, a lot of those prices went up in labor for him. Labor for or parts for the materials and stuff like that. So just a heads up, all of these blanks here were in his custody. The blanks up here as well, and those bundles that are taped, everything down here, these were all with him. He's saying that he wrapped a bunch of them, and you know, and that he peeled off the wrap and so forth. We had 3 of them. They came back with guides on, but the guides were never shaved down, so it had a real bumpy lip on it. So our new rod builders actually stripped them down and did them properly so that our customers would be happy on that. When you do a shark rod, you have to do the ferrule first. And what that means is this portion right here comes off. And this is where you put on the base of the rod. It gets glued on there permanently so it doesn't come off. The foam gets put on there, and then the grip or the thread work gets started. He brought them all back, still taped, brand new, untouched. Right. And that was an extra Fenwick right there that I was going to have him, or Lima glass that I was going to have him work out. He didn't even touch them. And that, you know, I'm glad my customers are no longer going to have to deal with that issue. And I feel sorry for whoever decides to take it up and go on that note, guys. Y'all got it here first. Heads up of what we had to go through on this note. So we are no longer, I'm grateful to say we're no longer doing business with them, and we will definitely keep it growing. You know, I was really ticked off. I still am. But toward this last, say, 3 weeks, when all of this was starting to transpire and everything, I'd already hired on 2 other local rod builders to get us going on our rods and stuff like that. And I went with 2 on the deal to get my customers caught up as quickly as possible. So that's going to be the great thing. We're going to have several rods in here on Friday, which, like I said, they just picked up last week, because when the rods were here, like, okay, now they have the rods and everything else after everything was said and done. A lot of the rods are going to be catch-up. I mean, that's the only way I can put it. You know, we got left in a dirty spot with our rod builder doing that to us. And, you know, it was a real sour taste in my mouth. But at the same time, too, as things are starting to come to light and us seeing this, I am pretty glad that we have cut our ties on doing that. And I'll show you why. You know, there was a tournament that was held out at Goose Island this past weekend, where there's a month-long tournament out of Galveston. It's called the Fat Man's Tournament, and it's for Big Black Drum. Well, everybody been fishing out at Goose, you know, everybody having a good time, sharing spots and this and that. Well, I get a video, and you can see where the rod builder and another local tackle company had their cart blocking toward the end of the pier. They were prepping for that fishing tournament. However, with any pier tournament, if there's a spot, there's a way to fit the rod or whatever, then you can fish it. And there's rod holders there. This rod was already in that spot. he catches a fish, and then they go and block him out of it, and then get angry with him because he was like, hey man, like, I want my spot back, and they weren't going to give it to him. So I'm going to go ahead and let the video do the talking for you out there, so y'all can check this out. And I am bringing this up because for me, I can support a tournament that will allow that kind of behavior to be involved. And granted, that tournament that they were prepping for didn't kick off to the next day, and maybe that tournament didn't see that. But for me, that's one of the things another tournament does. Like any unsportsmanlike conduct before a tournament or after a tournament will disqualify you. I totally agree with that. You know what I mean? Now, this is a prime example of what not to do during preparation for a tournament. And let me find where the link is at so y'all can check this out. And this was live on Facebook, because anytime you had to do a hookup for that tournament, you had to go live. So let me get behind the camera real quick so you can check this out. All right, so there's the tournament. That's the young man that he was sighting in on it. Oh, hold on, let me go back. Let me go and push play.
Man, it is what it is.
All right.
I'd be mad too if I caught this guy.
Oh, okay, hold on. Let me back up real quick. So right here, I'm gonna pause it. Right here, you can see their cart blocking the walkway. Like literally, he had to squeeze by that little gap right there. They were using the cart to block the end of the pier. Can you see that? That's unsportsmanlike conduct right there, guys. I mean, I know y'all are getting ready for a tournament and stuff like that, but you do not block the whole end of the pier, you know, from other fishermen. There's, you know, a dozen or so rods that could have still been fished in that spot. So, you know, that fisherman didn't say anything. He moved through. That's the one fisherman. The other fisherman sitting right there. You can see where his rod was in that holder right there. He's catching the fish, right? Doing his check-in and everything. Now, I'm going to fast forward. I'm going to fast forward to the end, right when he recognizes that his rod has been moved.
That's where we set up at.
Hey, folks.
And,
I'm right here.
no, we got people coming, bro. We got people coming.
Oh, you really gonna do me like that?
Yeah. Dude,
I really am.
we got a tournament coming up.
You really?
We got people coming.
I'm not in the tournament though. I'm leaving you know, it's okay. Sorry, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just do my thing. It's alright. Ain't no problem at all, man. I got no will against
Look
man.
at the cart blocking the walkway. I mean, they literally had to work around it. So, I'm sorry. That very unsportsmanlike conduct from both those gentlemen, both those fishermen right there. I don't have ill will toward any business that is trying to raise up. You know, I fished alongside those guys. They've sold gear right and left to me, and I've never badmouthed them. You know, they sell a product, they put it out. Cool. Hey, I want to see everybody raise up. I just won't support businesses or tournaments that allow that kind of behavior to be okay. It's not okay. You know what I mean? Me and my tournament members have gone out to that end of the pier, and you can go back and you can check it out on Captain Eric Hernandez's big drum tournaments there. We're all there, and there was still like 15 of us all fishing that corner, all of us smashing on fish, all of us helping each other out land those fish. That's the way a tournament should be fished, and a pier should be ran. You know, we actually went to Goose Island, I want to say it was last week or the week before, and we talked to the park rangers there because they were asking us, well, what team are y'all? And we started telling them, and they're like, oh, okay. And we're like, what do you mean, oh, okay? And they go, what? That's not the team we're looking for. I'm like, why are y'all looking for a team? You know, I'm just curious. He goes, because they blocked the end of the pier. And I was like, how'd they block it? And he goes, oh, they said that they had their carts and they had rope or whatever, and they basically had it barricaded it right there toward the end of the pier like that. And it was even further than these guys had it. And I was like, so what's going to happen? They go, they're going to ban them from the pier. I was like, well, that's a good thing. You know what I mean? Or, you know, talk to them, let them know that they can't do that. I mean, sometimes it's better to teach a lesson than to just do that, you know. But at the same time, you know, they may not tolerate that kind of behavior at all. You know, so for me, you know, I'm just glad I fished the way I fished, and me and my team are the way we are, that we pass on the knowledge and share our fishing experiences, our team, our gear. I mean, you've heard tons and tons of videos of, hey man, you got a net? If not, hey, we got one. You know, we're always ready to lend a helping hand up, guys. And for us, like I said, after everything is said and done, I am happy that we have cut ties, that we are looking on our way up to, you know, do business with good businesses that, you know, are looking for the same thing for their customers, to be responsible to them, but also too, when, you know, they're not doing business, that, you know, they are still respectable within the community and toward other people. You know, you can't bogart a spot, man, like that. That's silly. That's you know, I feel bad for the gentleman, but you know what, I give him a lot of kudos. This dude, he said, you know what, I'm not even gonna, you know, he walked away. You know, Todd, that's his name. He walked away from the situation. That was the bigger fisherman after everything was said and done. He caught a monster black drum. It was like 43.5 inches or so. You know, he was fishing, you know, for another tournament that is a month-long deal. He wasn't fishing that specific tournament that these guys were going to fish. But still, you know, he should have had every right to fish that end, whether or not those guys had more team players coming or not, because we have times where we get out there and other team members follow. But if the spot's already taken, then they just have to feed themselves in whenever they can, or somebody leaves. Or, you know, we work with the guys, hey man, you know, fish with us or whatever, just letting you know we got some team members coming or whatever, if you don't mind that we can work y'all out or whatever. And we've done that, and people are like, hey, no worries, cool, we're only here for a few hours. And it works out. Other times, hey, no, we're here for that tournament too. All right, cool. But it doesn't hurt to ask. You got to work together with people. You can't just, no, you can't fish here, no. Yeah, that's so wrong on so many levels. A lot of people are probably going to get pissed at me, but hey, you know what? I'm going to speak the truth. Y'all saw it on video. Y'all saw it for yourselves. It's in there, you know, and that's not the way you fish, guys. And like I said, for my customers with the Team Hard Life rods, motion is coming. Like I said, we got 2 rod builders now, and I've let them know the situation, so they feel the pain that y'all are feeling, because they're like, dude, we're going to help you out the best way we can to get it caught up as quickly as possible. So the turnaround on this, and especially now that we got a lot warmer weather, they're going to be able to put out a lot of the rods a lot faster than what we had been going through. And you know, and I just want to thank y'all for being so understanding with the whole situation, with everything that we got put through with that other company. And you know, and at the end of the day, you know, like I said, you know, he was a good friend and everything, but if it's going to happen like this, then I'm glad he's gone and that we're not associated with that company anymore. So if y'all are new to our channel, do some research, check out the videos that we had before. Like I said, he did great work. We're not doubting the work. It's just at the end of the day, you know, when they're going to be like that, you can't. I cannot associate my business with that type of people being out there doing that, and you know, just being wrong. That was totally wrong on both of those individuals right there, and you can hear them both on there. The other one was the Gambler Leaders right there. You saw his flag hanging out and everything, and you know, he was probably out there selling to a bunch of those guys until that happened. I was like, I mean, I know I wouldn't buy somebody's leaders or gear or tackle or rod if they were like that to individuals. You know, we've ran into that where customers thought that we were bashing their gear and this and that, and after we talked with them some more, then they understood why we were saying the comments we were saying, because we backed it up with physical knowledge of showing them how the reels worked and stuff like that. Sometimes a lot of people at first take things to heart, and it shouldn't be like that. Just sometimes you just got to do a little more explaining. And for us, we always have that door open. We know what it's like to be on this side of the counter. That's why we called it Hard Life's Bait and Tackle. We don't want none of our customers being taken advantage of by anybody on this side of the counter that don't know what the hell they're talking about. So on that note, guys, I leave y'all. I just had to bring y'all up to speed on it. And you know, it was probably one of the worst videos that I ever have to post, but I have to do it because that's what we are. Oh, that was the other thing too. You know, we get a phone call, and it was after I did the spooling video. He is friends with the rod builder. So he called the rod builder and told him that, you know, he needs to tell me to remove that video. I'm sorry, dude. I don't back down from bullies. It's not going to happen. Whatever I find on my videos, that's what I find. I'm going to post it for y'all to see. And for a company to try to use somebody else, you know, to bully or whatever me, it ain't going to happen, guys. Like, you can say what you want. I mean, I've been threatened with lawyers. They've come at me from all shapes and sizes, but they can't do nothing, because at the end of the day, you sell a product. Say you sell 1,000 liters that month to 1,000 different people. You have 1,000 critics out there judging your liter. And that's the way you always got to think about it. Each product you put out is a representation of you and your company. Every time you talk to somebody, you engage with somebody, that's a representation of your company. And if you're willing to hold that kind of group within your company, see ya. I don't need it. Don't need it. So, you know, like I said, at the end of the day, I'm looking out for my customers. I'm not gonna, you know, back down. Whatever I find on there, whatever happens here, whether it's good or bad, I'm gonna let you know. You know, and I'm gonna man up to it and let you know this is what happened to us. This is what we're doing. We've already got things in motion, like I said. So be expecting another video here in a couple of days with our first batch of rods from our rod builders that are coming in, and I'll introduce you to their name and so forth, so that way, because right now they're getting the company logo. I was like, dude, you gotta put a logo, man. I love their name. They're veterans, you know, that have served, you know, our country, and you know, they're working together, and man, they're just genuinely good people. So like I said, we're gonna work it together, build their name, and then once the other rod builder comes with his batch of rods, we're gonna introduce him again to the channel, and so that way y'all can learn who they are, so we can show support and love for their businesses, because they're gonna turn around and show support and love to us through putting the rods out, getting our builds caught up as quickly as possible. I've already talked with them. Our end game is to have about 30 to 50 of the Team Hard Life rods always on standby, ready to be sold, not to have any more wait time, guys. So again, thank you very much for being patient with us. We are doing everything in our power to make sure this drawback does not continue to hold us down. We are looking to spike up our numbers on our YouTube channel by doing what we do best, and that's keeping it real here at Hard Life Bait and Tackle. Have a good one.